Here we go. We have a genetic practice problem shown on the screen here. This is found on the modules section of Eagle Online. Both test number 2 and the department exam will have questions regarding genetic problems. So what I've done is provided you with some practice here, and it's available again in the modules section. What we're going to do is we're going to take the first example, which is set A. So set A is the one that I'm going to work on at the bottom here. So this is set A. We do have some starting information. And from this picture here, or this slide, we see that it's a dihybrid cross that we're going to work with. A dihybrid cross, which involves two characteristics. Now the parent in our original question is this one. So the mom is capital A, little a, capital B, capital B. The dad is the same, capital A, little a, capital B, capital B. And what the question is asking in both 1A and 2A, these two questions, is what are the odds of having a certain kind of offspring? Now, if you use the textbook, you're going to find a very complicated math, and so what I've done is provided you with a shortcut. And it's based upon the laws. So if you know what the value of the law of independent assortment is that the characteristics are independent of each other. So my math is going to be much simpler. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the first question here, which is 1A. And the question says, what are the odds of having a kid that's capital A, capital B, little b, based on having these parents that I'm currently circling? So let's work on that problem first. So I'm going to go to the answer key and explain it. Okay, so here's the answer key, and we're going to look at that. All right, so here's how the answer key works. So we're going to do 1A, and that's the first question. Now the question is rewritten here for ease. Here's our original parent, capital A, capital B, and the other parent's the same, capital A, capital B, And we're going to do what's called a Punnett square. The question again is repeated here as well. The question says, what are the odds of getting a capital A, a capital B, and a little b? Well, if you're using the textbook way, it's too complicated. So what I've done is I've simplified it by using the shortcut. First, we're going to solve for A. So we're going to see what are the odds of getting two capital A's based upon the parents. One parent was capital A, little a. The other parent was capital A, little a. I put them on the axis. So here's one axis, here's the other axis, and I simply write down the parents. Then I look at what happens. The outcome will be two capital letters here. We always write the capital letter first, so it's going to be a capital and a lowercase, a capital and a lowercase, and in this last box will be two lowercase letters, two little a's. Now when I do the odds, I notice that to get what I'm asking for about the two capital A's, there's only one box, which is 1 out of 4. So therefore, I have a 1/4 chance of getting two capital A's out of this. So that's so far 1/4 just for the A's. Now, the second half of this question says capital B, little b, based upon the parents. Now in this case, parents are also what? Capital B, capital B. So I write down the both parents down here on the axis, capital B, capital B, capital B, capital B. And notice all my boxes are now capital B's. I do not get a single case of capital B, little b that was asked for in the question above. Therefore, there is a 0 chance of a capital B, little b. Now what I do is I multiply the odds between the A story and the B story, and therefore 1/4 times 0. And as you know, anything multiplied by a 0 gives me a 0 chance. So in this example, there's a 0 chance that I will ever get a capital A, a capital B, and a little b. So no chance for capital A, capital B, little b. So that's the answer to the first one, which is 1A. Now I'm going to go back to the other problem, and we're now going to work the other one. So here's the second one that we were on. Oops, let me go back again. One moment. Okay, here's the second question. All right, so I'll bring that up a little bit. On the bottom, we see 2a. So we're looking at this one here, 2a. And the question is asking for what are the odds, same storyline, same original parents, but this time I want to know whether the odds, what are the odds for capital A, little a, capital B, capital B. So capital A, little a, capital B, capital B. Again, same parents. So I go back to the answer key. And we're going to look at that one. So let me scroll down. Right, now on the bottom here, doing now question 2a, and I'm asking for capital A, little a, capital B, capital B. And notice when I do my little boxes down here, I see capital A, little a, capital A, little a, same as my original parents I started with because I didn't change the parents any. And if I look at the odds of getting a capital A, little a, it's 2/4. And 2/4 is the same as 1/2. Right, so 2/4 is the same as 1/2. Then for the B's, well, what are the odds of getting 2 capital B's? Because that's what the question is asking. What are the odds of getting 2 capital B's? Well, that's all of them. Every one of them is a capital B, capital B. So when I do my math, it's going to be 2/4, which is 1/2, times 4/4. And that gives me, it'll be 8/16 or 1/2. So 8/16 or 1/2. 2 times 4 is 8. And 4 times 4 is 16. And 8 over 16 reduces to 1/2. So there's a 50% chance or half a chance of getting a capital A, little a, capital B, capital B. So I've now solved 1A and 1B based upon the handout. Now I will give you an opportunity to now do the second one. So it'd be a good idea for you to work out the second question down here based on the new storyline down here. Okay, so go ahead and work on that. I also have additional practice problems available on the Eagle Online modules page as well. So there is extra practice problems for you. Do work on them, and then when we have our discussion, you may ask that question at that time. All right, thank you.